site worthy of our consideration, which is the idea that talks about the wild animals going out, and it's all the birds, and then the beasts, and then the things that creep on the earth. Is the way the biblical passage works. And if you think of that kind of as a downward triangle, those things that are high, birds, those things that are walking on the earth, the beasts, and then those things that are crawling on the ground, those are the creeping things. And it's an interesting perspective. It's an interesting sort of order of things. And what is that all about? Well, it means that as we start to find this aliveness in our lives, as we come through the other side of the flood and we start to see life anew. And again, it's not about, we don't jettison all the hard stuff that was part of the flood. Those things come with us, but it's a new life that does incorporate many of those things into it. Just as, again, these animals came from before the flood, and here they are, and they're finding new life after the flood. And the idea of creeping things that are on the ground is the idea that it even goes out to the most external parts of our lives, like this aliveness we get to witness in this deep way, down to our languaging, down to our posture in life. It has a very physical manifestation of it, in the same way that a creeping thing is really, really close to earth. I love this one line here. This is from Emanuel Swedenborg. Our outward aspects are reduced to obedience when we regenerate, and then we become an image of heaven. So literally, like, the things have moved through us in such a way that our outsides and our insides all go together. It all matches up. And I love the word obedience. The word obedience in Latin actually means to listen, or to lean in and listen. And it's where the external parts of our lives really start to lean in and listen to the internal parts of our lives. And you think of, folks, of the little markers that really show people, like, wow, this person's in integrity, and their outsides are what their insides are. I know, just thinking about some examples for me, one is for me when someone says something like, yeah, that's going to be their story to tell. I can't tell it for them. That's a powerful statement, because it means that they're somebody who can hold a confidence, as well as people who are just so super honest about things that they're just upfront about it. And that very upfrontness is incredibly appealing, because it shows, again, that the outside is the same as the inside. And then the other one, folks, like this is a big one. I'm no good at this, by the way. Another big one is the simple grace of our friends who are able to say, I don't know. Believe it or not, that is a statement of huge integrity. And that is a statement of someone whose outsides match the insides. Because I know for me at times, I imagine for you at times, like, somebody asks us a question, especially if you're in my line of work as a pastor, we're supposed to be big on answers. And that can kind of be like an ego thing. Somebody comes to you like, well, what would you do with this? And give me your advice. And there are times where we can offer that. And most importantly, sometimes what we can offer is just to say, I don't know, but let's talk about it. That simple statement of I don't know, and the humility with it, is a way, I know when somebody says that to me, like, well, I don't really know. Boy, that instantly becomes a very attractive force in my life, like literally an attraction to that person, because I know that they're just humble, and we'll be able to have a conversation that will help both of us out. And that's the way life, I think, is supposed to work. We're supposed to come into our relationships with that deep humility. And that deep humility actually is a very big sign that we're well onto the spiritual path. And it's interesting because some people would say, well, you're more into the spiritual path when you're more and more certain. I don't know about that. I think, maybe certain in some things, I'm certain in certain areas. I'm certain there's a heaven. I'm certain there's life after death. Like, I'm certain, about those things, certain about love wins. But there's many more things that I'm not certain about, and I continue to be less and less certain about. And hopefully, knock on wood, that's a good thing. And hopefully that process will, what would I say, will not yield a bunch of wonderful answers, but will actually yield more questions, and will actually in turn create more and more humility. which is, I think, what we all need to have in terms of helping each other along life's journey. So folks, like the takeaway for today is pretty simple. As these things grow and evolve and move out there into our lives, remember as well that it should come down not just to the big stuff and the energy which we talked about yesterday, which is beautiful, 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 beautiful. But it also should come back very simply to our language, to our posture, to how we run play. I mean, literally, when someone is talking to you, put down your phone. That's a simple act of integrity. It's a simple way of bringing this down into the very, very contained and base of our life, because that says I'm interested in you. And being able to use phrases like, well, I don't know, and that's their story to tell, not mine. Those little phrases that just demonstrate an integrity. And we don't do it to show off. We do it because that's what starts to create the kind of community that has, as the line here goes, that becomes more and more an image of heaven and more heavenly. And that's what's, that's the name of the game, friends. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you're doing well. As I'm shooting this up here in cold Philadelphia, and I'm going to be flying down to warm Florida tomorrow. So regardless of whether you're in cold climates or warm, we do wish you, on behalf of New Church Live, a wonderful weekend ahead. God bless. And again, feel free to leave any comments you would like. You can leave those, and I will get to them later in the week. And what we're going to do now is we always do our little meditation, our little prayer, and our little blessing. So with that, friends, let's all get a little breath. And our prayer bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, wishing you all the best. Again, wishing you a great weekend. Hope you get a chance to join either Curtis Childs online or in person up here in Bernathen, Pennsylvania. Or if you're down in Florida, more than welcome to join us in Vero Beach. And you just shoot me a little note in the comments section, and I'll send you the specifics. Regardless, either way, wishing you all the very best. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.